maybe have a little better lighting and camera. It's stormy out. And no place I'd rather be than right here with you every Saturday morning on No Guts, No Story. So drop in the comments, where are you tuning in from? How long have you been tuning in to this Saturday morning broadcast? You know, I have some people who have been tuning in since 2006. Like if I'm 10 minutes late, they're like, where are you? Are you going live? I can't wait. And some mornings I'm like, thank goodness I have No Guts, No Story, because it gets me pumped because I know that I got to be bringing it when I come to you. So this week, I have been studying, teaching a course in my coaching group. And it's crazy because I've been having to do it kind of like a buffet. Like, do you ever read a book and you like part of it, but the other part of it, you're like, absolutely not? So that's been me. But here's what I have learned. And I want you guys to write this down. Practice the art of allowing. And some of you are very, very opinionated. I know my mentor used to tell me, you have the right to your own opinion, but you also have the right to be wrong. And he was usually right. But the thing that I have learned is that nobody wins an argument. So if you want to know what's the best way to win an argument with your kids, your spouse, your coworker, your boss, your partner, your teammates, your neighbor, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your sister-in-law, your brother-in-law, even your siblings, and I think I said your kids, here is the secret. The secret in negotiating is how you make them feel, right? So sometimes the easiest thing to do would be to just look at your spouse and say, you know what, you're 100% right. And the minute you walk away, they will come into the kitchen, they will apologize. You know, if there's not a reciprocated argument going on, nobody can argue with a tree, right? You ever try to punch somebody when you're in a fist fight and they're laughing? So how you get along with everyone, oh my gosh. Thank you, Daisy, for saying that comment, because I got to tell you, I pulled a Barbism this week. I left my entire overnight bag and all my makeup in Kansas as I was so excited to get to the lake and be with Dave. And it's so funny because I don't know how many times I've done this, but I literally found myself at Dollar General trying to find something to do my makeup because it's summertime. I have a lot of freckles, a little bit of sunburn. It's not a pretty sight, but here we are, Dollar General makeover and a little bit of Walmart. But I want to tell you guys, it doesn't matter who you're working with, how bad they are, how evil they are, even if they are not a nice person. Here is the way you get along with everyone, right? You be happy. You be cordial. You don't try to win the argument. So I've been reading a lot. I've been reading The Art of How to Manifest Anything You Want in Life, The Art of Exceptional Living, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And here's the thing that I've learned. Winning the argument has cost me millions and millions of dollars. And I'm saying multiple millions of dollars. And so you got to learn. You can't be a slow learner and keep losing and losing and losing. People who argue, even if they win the argument, they do not win. So quit being so stubborn in your little way of my way or the highway. I'm going to teach them a lesson. I'm going to give them the silent treatment. Respect my authority. What about my feelings? How do you think that makes me feel? Let me give you guys a little news flash. They don't care. They have their own issues going on. And you were never the issue anyway. So in reading How to Win Friends and Influence People yesterday, I could have came up with 25 instances when I won the battle, but I lost the war. Think about that. Do you want to win the battle but lose the war? Or are ultimately, what is it that you're trying to get to? What is it that's missing right now that if you just had this, you would be so happy? If you just had this, you would be so successful. If you just had this, you would probably just settle down and get married and blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. We're all human goal-striving machines, and we want our needs met, right? We want security. We want to feel loved. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel appreciated. Some of us want to feel significant and important. Some of us we have all different things that we want to feel. Hey, Callie Pitcock, I see my daughter's tuning in. Here's my my notes sitting here with Callie Pitcock, Supreme Lending. Okay. This broadcast is being brought to you by Callie Pitcock, Loan Officer, Supreme Lending. You can easily go to calliepitcock.com, Supreme Lending, and I need my glasses. Actually, I would just say text her and I will give you the number. Here, you guys can take a screenshot of this. Do you see what it says at the bottom? Do not look at my fingernails. Dave and I have been doing major construction tear out. It's bad. Like, these things need to come off and be burned. But here I am showing up, doing my thing in the midst of any circumstance, right? Because I am consistent. I am learning. I am growing. So here's kind of the journey that we've been on this week. I have this coaching group, and I have a small group, and we get together once a week. We get together daily. There's maybe 12 to 15 of them the other night on a Zoom. It was supposed to only last an hour. We were so deep into this. That recording is never being posted, right? Maybe the front part, but we trust each other. We talk, we strategize, we dream, we manifest, and they are all killing it. Like, they are people that were broken, sad, broke, pissed, angry, scared, whatever they were. And I just see like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Like, one of them just bought a $500,000 golf course. One of them is overcoming a lot of issues to where she used to get on and she wouldn't even say her name. She would be like, tonight's not a good night for me. And this week she's advising all of us what to do. Like, there is so much growth happening. But let's think about this. When an airplane goes down and that airplane is flying and it's got hundreds of people on it and there's a tragedy, they do not go look for the people. They look for the little black box. And what's in that little black box doesn't say how many people were on the plane, any of that, where to find them, if they're breathing. It's the very first thing they look for, because it tells them where the plane started, how it was doing, and where it went down. And I want you to think about the most difficult, mean people on the planet. The people that you're like, why would they treat me that way? Why would they say that? Why can I not get along with this person at work? Why does my child do this? Why does my grandkid act that way? Like, and what we want to say is, what a horrible person. Or maybe it's your kid or someone you babysit and you're like, why is he such a little spoiled brat, right? Why does he have to scream and kick and hit and hurt people? Hurting people hurt people, and people get their needs met. Let's think about this. Little kids will get attention, good or bad, as long as they get attention. And guess what? Big kids will get attention, good or bad, as long as they get attention. Grown adults will get their needs met. They will get people to pay attention to them, no matter what they have to do. Do you know, in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, it talks about people like BTK, people like Charles Manson, people that they literally thought they were good people. And when they get arrested and put into prison, the very first thing they ask for, the newspaper. Do you want to know why? Because their need is that they need to feel significant. There's actually an adrenaline rush that happens for these people that used to not be good people when they do something bad, because they feel accomplished. It feeds their need. Can you even imagine hurting so bad that you literally wanted to hurt someone else to the point that they die or you die? Can you even imagine that? It kind of makes you feel different. Thinking about a thief, thinking about a liar. Usually these people grew up or became an adult and got into an environment where their daily survival mechanism was, I'm going to have to lie, steal, cheat, bargain, or something in order to survive. So there's a little fox in my backyard. And I love feeding this little fox because he's cute as he can be. And I watch him down there hunting all night. But last night we got off the boat and Dave had half of a cheeseburger and I had a half of a Philly steak. And I'm looking at these little foxes, and there's 4 of them. They're in a den. And I throw an entire chunk of meat, and there's 4 foxes. And then I throw another one that's even bigger than that one, right? But they're all fighting over this little tiny pile. And Dave is laughing. He's like, there's a training in here somewhere. Why do you want to fight about a little tiny pile of turkey scraps when right over here is the half-pound cheeseburger with bacon? And it even has all the other good stuff with it, because our human nature is to argue and fight. That's mine. Give me that back. What do you think you're doing? Why would you act that way? You're not going to win. And our human nature happens because we learn these behaviors as a child. Some of us are very competitive. It doesn't matter how we win. We just know we got to win. Some of us want everyone to get along. We cry at the end of the ball game because someone had to lose. Like, it's because of the way that we grew up. The little things that our teachers, our coaches, even an abusive relationship with your spouse, or maybe getting fired from a job because you made a mistake. Now, all of a sudden, you can't be wrong. You can't make a mistake. You have to win the argument, even if you're not 100% sure that you're right, because losing the argument would mean that you made a mistake. You're not perfect. You're not an A student. You're not going to be accepted. You're not going to be loved. You might get laughed at. Someone might think that you're not perfect, right? And our personalities and the way that we are built will cost us millions of dollars if we do not learn this skill. How you get along with everybody. Do not try to win the argument. Oh my goodness. I lost my notes this morning, you guys, and Dave just found them on the boat. On the boat. What an amazing husband. He goes on a scavenger hunt because I'm such a hot mess express. He always finds everything. So yesterday on the boat, it's a little tattered. It's a little wet. It's a little crazy. But the only way to win an argument, you see that? The best way to win an argument is to avoid it. Avoid it. So how do you do that? Okay. Thank your opponents sincerely for their interest in this. So let's say you're working with someone that's really hard to get along with. Thank you for bringing that up. I never thought about it that way. Okay. Now there's no argument, right? You didn't have to win. You didn't have to be right. You just made them feel like they're a really big deal and they might be right, right? And the next thing is, anyone who takes time to disagree with you is at least interested in the same things that you are. Think of them as the people who really want to help you. And you might just turn your opponents into your friends or your customers, right? Or your biggest fans or your client that subscribes to your YouTube or whatever it is. Postpone action to give your side and give time to think through the problem. Maybe like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You're probably right. Let's revisit this tomorrow. Now, everything's fine. You didn't have to win. You didn't burn the bridge. You didn't quit the job. You didn't fire the employee. You didn't leave and divorce your spouse. You didn't kick your child out onto the street. You didn't beat the crap out of your little grandson. Like whatever it was, let's just think for a minute, do we have to be right and take action right now? Could your opponents be right? Could they be a little bit right? And I want to tell you guys, I see this every day in my business because I have atheist believers, Mormons, Buddhists, Jehovah's Witness, Catholic, Baptist, born again, spirit-filled, Four Circle Christian Church. I have the Amish. I have the Mennonites. I have the gay, the liberal, the LGBT, whatever it's called. I have the Black. I have the white. I have the Hawaiian. I have the Spanish. I have the Puerto Rican. I have every walk of life. And guess what, you guys? Jesus loves the little children all the children of the world. He loves the addicts. He loves the ones that are clean. He loves the believers. He loves the ones that mock him, laugh, tell him he's not, a real person. It doesn't matter. When you're all love, you don't have to be right. You don't even have to speak your opinion. Maybe you're a little bit right, but you don't live in that person's body. You don't think with that person's mind. You weren't raised with that person's beliefs, and you don't know why they believe what they believe. So here's how beliefs happen. Beliefs get stacked. Evidence, like this. Evidence just piles up. Pretty soon, you have this much evidence that you're right, but it could be the wrong evidence. People have gone to prison for life before. People have even been executed before when there was almost 100% proof that that person was guilty. But then later they find out they weren't. And you guys, people who are set in their ways, it's my way or the highway, get to work. You don't know. I know. I'm the best. Quit asking me questions. Do you not know who you're talking to? Like, those people sabotage everything. Their marriages, their friendships, their businesses, their neighborhoods, their church, the fitness center, the dance school, the salon. I've been that person. I have been that person, right? Here's what I learned. It's easier to practice the art of allowing and let those people stay like they are, and you keep being great. You just keep moving forward a little bit at a time. So I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever heard the story called the Sermon on the Mount? The Sermon on the Mount is a story about a guy. He was a teacher, and he had a pretty good message. And he went on the Mount and he told this story, and there were people that said, he's a liar. He's a fraud. He is not a good person. He should be locked up, killed, throw stones at him, get him off the pulpit. He is not a good person. And there were people at that class. And do you know what those people said? He's a liar. They mocked him. They hated on him. They threw stones at him. They begged someone to kill him. They chased him down, calling him names. His mom was there. His mother actually saw people treating him this way. But do you know what he didn't do? He didn't have a training or a meeting after the class to de-perplex the perplexed. He literally left them perplexed, and he went to a new town to tell the same story. Guess what? Same town, right down the road, same thing happened. There were people that were mocking. There were people that were laughing. There were people that said, kill him. He should not be allowed to do this. Let me tell you guys something. He was the minority. He was not treated fairly. People did not worship him. They did not think it was real. They thought he was the worst thing that ever hit the land. But do you know what? He kept doing authentically what was in his heart, his values. He went and did what he stood for. He went and shined his light. He kept moving forward, one foot in front of the other, no matter what anyone else said, blinders on. He was like, I don't know why they're doing this to me. And there's people in the field that would say, why are these people lying? Why do people lie, guys? Why? Let's think about this. Because they're liars. What would you expect them to do? And then he kept going, and there was people that were gossiping. And there were some people that would say, why would those people gossip? And then anyone with common sense would say, because those people are the gossipers. I'll get back to this. Why do people gossip? They're getting their needs met. They need to feel important. If they don't bring the goods on everybody, know everything about everything, they're not going to feel significant because they ain't got nothing else, right? People who gossip only gossip. I've never met anyone doing better than me gossiping about me. So a gossip is going to be average at best. Why do you care what they say? You don't have to fix that. Keep on moving. Keep on moving and grooving and winning and high-fiving the people that are on the same road as you, because a gossip is always going to be a gossip. Average at best. Successful people, they don't discuss people. They discuss business ideas, empires, investments, properties, stocks, new things they're going to start, charities they're going to give to, money they're going to give away, things they're going to build. Do you think an exceptionally successful person has time to sit at the coffee shop, talk about who got divorced, who's right, who's wrong, who should do what? Not if they're making things happen. Maybe if they're retired and they're bored, nobody coasts up a hill, maybe they're sliding backwards. That's the only people that are ever going to act that way. Next question. Why would people hurt him? Why would people throw stones at him? Why would people say he should be stoned? He is a fraud because they're jealous, because they think they're right, because they're set in their ways and their opinion. And guess what? When that was happening, they didn't get off the mountain, the Sermon on the Mount, and say, let's go find those people that threw them stones. Let's go find those people that vandalized. Let's go find those people that stole and lied and mocked and gossiped and hated. Guess what? They just let them be the haters. They left them the haters and they kept on moving and grooving. They let them be the people that threw stones and they kept on moving and grooving. You don't stop and get down and have a little pity party with all the people that want to gossip and hate and throw stones. You got to be above that. Don't even entertain it. How you get along with everyone? 4 things. Thank you. I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry. See ya. It's a Hawaiian culture that I love. I think it's called Ho'oponopono. It's a long, long word like that. Do this with everyone. They're going to be like this. Did Barb just apologize to me? Did she just say, I love you? Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And she just left me here perplexed and mad? Yes, because I'm not going to let that stress create an acidic environment where disease can grow in my body. Stress is the silent killer. How you get along with everyone, you rise above it, you keep on moving. You think to yourself, what would Jesus do, right? The Sermon on the Mount is a story about Jesus, and he kept moving and he kept going, and he didn't try to fix the people that didn't want to be fixed. He prayed for them. He forgave them. He shared with them his message, and there were mockers and haters and gossipers and stoners that threw stones. There were people that wanted to kill him. There were people that were writing articles, Facebook posts. There were people that were starting groups against him, trying to steal all of his people to go somewhere else. And the only way they could do it was that. Talk crap on him. And guess what happened? He built the largest business, the largest empire in the history of the world, not of your little small town, of the world. And people today are still hating on him. People today are still mocking. People today are still gossiping. People today still have an opinion that that is wrong. And guess what? He didn't care. He just went to find some more believers. Now, let me tell you guys, I'm not an easy person to hang out with. I'm not. I am personally diagnosed extremely ADHD. I'm a lot. I have 55 things going at all times. I lose my book. I lose my book bag. I'm taking some products that I just found for brain health, and I do think it's helping. But when you do what I do on a single day, which most people don't do in 30 days, let me tell you, sometimes it's going to be messy. And there are people that will say, she needs to clean her car. And there are people that will say, she needs to open her mail. And there are people that would say, why does she drive over the speed limit? And there are people that would say, why does she go live every Saturday morning? It's so annoying. I can't even stand to hear her voice. And what she says is not true. And what she says is not right. And guess what, you guys? I leave those people perplexed. I build so big that even my haters are going to want to join what my movement is. I know in my heart who I am. And I want you guys to go look in the mirror and understand that you are created in a championship bloodline. It doesn't matter who wants to argue with you. It doesn't matter who wants to say bad things about your people that you love. It doesn't matter what they publish about you, what they gossip about you, if they try to tear you down, if they try to steal from you, if they lie and make up things to make you look less than you really are. You guys, people know a flake when they meet a flake. You want to be around people that you know, even if you did the worst sin in the world and somebody said that you did that, the people at your table would be, are we sure that that's true? Should we investigate this? Because that doesn't sound like the Bart Pickup that I know. That doesn't sound like the Tanya Cooper that I know. That does not sound like the Daisy Fonestill, Callie Pitcock. That does not sound like the girl that I know, right? You want to lock arms with people that are at your table because they want to be at your table. They have your back. They don't want to argue. They want to build an empire, not tear it down. Not tear it down. The Sermon on the Mount is the story of the most successful business ever built. Not arguing with people. That's how you get along with everybody. You do not argue. You forgive them. You love them. You try to see their point of view. And when they're really freaking mean, I mean, I have people sue me, try to destroy me, share horrible things about my children, create viral videos, TikToks, lawsuits, articles, you name it. This is what I would say. My God already has the battle won. I'm not going to sit here and be arguing with someone like that. What in the world must have happened to that woman or man? What must have happened that would have ever caused them to be that full of venom? I should pray for them because that's really sad. Like maybe they were abused. Maybe they're still getting abused. Maybe they hate themselves. Like maybe that person that's so full of venom and hate, maybe they're in a situation where they hurt so bad they don't even want to live anymore. Maybe, let's think about this. The person that hurt you the most, what if right now that person is writing a letter to God? They literally want to end their life. They don't feel important. They've been abused. They've been taken. Maybe they've been raped. Maybe they're cutting. Maybe they're hooked on a drug they can't get off of. Maybe they're a drinker. Maybe they struggle with alcoholism to the point they want to quit. But when they quit, they feel like they're dying, so they just drink another bottle. And then when they drink that bottle and they're not thinking clearly and they're the meanest person on planet Earth, that's when they fire at you. Okay, let's think about this for 1 minute. Is it really them? As Byron Katie says, is that really bad? And you guys, the first time I did a Byron Katie course and she said everything you think is bad is not bad, quit trying to be right all the time. Quit trying to win every argument. Quit thinking that you're so smart. And I was there in this course. This is within 30 days of Dave's brother taking his own life with a shotgun. And we didn't find him for 2 days in the summer heat in Kansas. Flying his mom home to bury him. Driving to Maryland with her and her husband, who had a retirement party that Friday and turned 65 and died 5 days later. This is a true story. I am so pissed at people, God, like I am like what in the proverbial, you know what is helping right now. I found myself in Maryland. In Maryland, they don't have air conditioning on the lake because it never gets hot. But boy, that week it did. It was like 105 degrees and 90% humidity. I had 3 babies, little babies. Like Chance was first grade. Callie was preschool. I had like a 3, a 5, and a 6-year-old. And I want to tell you guys something. I hurt so bad that year. And there were people in our company that week that decided to jump ship and raid everybody's downlines to go to all these different companies. Like, I was like, what just happened? Like, we built a company for 7 or 8 years. Now I'm in Maryland, right? And I'm burying my mother-in-law's husband a week after I buried her only or Dave's her only son now. That was one of her two sons, Dave's only brother. And I'm sitting there like, what can I do? So I journaled and I prayed and I cried and I journaled and I prayed and I cried, but I stayed still because I didn't have to be right. I wanted to blame the people he partied with for his suicide. I wanted to blame so many people. Thank God I didn't. I would have burned so many bridges. I was hurting and I wanted to hurt people, right? I had 3 little kids I was trying to love and it was hot. The only way I could even be comfortable was to take them to a movie. And I went to the movie and cried through the whole movie. I was hurting. Dave was hurting. This best friend came to help move mom from Maryland back to Kansas. And we're packing a house of all of her belongings and her husband, right? And there's no family in Maryland. They're all in Kansas. But the husband kids all show up. Now they want to kill all of us, right? Because this was their dad and he's gone. And now everything was already in a U-Haul because they were moving to Kansas. Like, I think to this point, you guys, probably one of the most painful months of my life. And I look back on the journals and I won't even read them because you don't even want that vibration. I was mad at the world. Dave was mad at the world. We blamed, we shamed. When you're so mad, you're even mad at God, you know you're low. But when those children showed up angry, Dave was amazing at it. Like, I can't imagine how you feel. Like, I don't want your dad's things. I'm sorry we packed them all in a U-Haul before he passed away. I'll be glad to give you all these things. You know, Dave was so good at understanding these people and their feelings. Now, not everyone in your family is going to play the understanding game. Not everyone in your family is going to be able to mend fences during tough times. In business, it's the worst. Some people are like, I'm going to get even with them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to destroy them. Good luck to you. Have fun rebuilding 14 times because you're either building his empire or you're tearing it down. There is a story about a little community, and this is what I'm going to end with. And in this little community, there was a new mayor coming to town. The king, let's say, the king of the community. And it wasn't easy being the king because there was so much dysfunction going on. And one day he said, I'm so tired of the way this community is. I'm going to create a new culture. So do you know what he did? He created opposition. He rolled a huge boulder right in the middle of the main street. And he made it to where on Monday morning in Dallas, Texas, San Francisco, wherever you live, Miami, Florida, nobody was going to be able to get through. Now, can you imagine it's Monday morning? There's a huge boulder in the middle of the road. Nobody's getting anywhere. Well, here's what happened. All these personalities that always have to be right came out. And I don't like to work with people that always have to be right because they sabotage everything. They literally can mess up a winning lottery ticket. Like, they can mess up anything. Just my opinion. Maybe it's good if you have to always be right. If you're like in a championship basketball game and you need to always win. I don't know. But in business, in marriages, and raising kids, you've got to be able to reciprocate that person's feelings and the way that they're wired and how you make them feel good, because people are going to stay where they feel good. And even if you win an argument, you guys, even if you win the argument and you're right in front of all of your peers and your ego gets boosted and you're like, I told you I was right. I looked it up, whatever. At the end of the day, you lost that person. You lost all of their network. They're never going to want to be around you again, buy from you, support you, because you made them feel like shit. And I'll tell you from experience, you can feel all important being the star of the show. At the end of the day, you're the automatic income reducer because nobody wants to be around someone like that. So in the book, it talks about a time where they were going to this dinner, and it's a lot like this story of the city I'm telling you about. And the guy knew he was right. Did Shakespeare write the words or was it in the Bible? And the client said, no, it's in the Bible. That's not Shakespeare. That was in the Bible. And the people trying to get the business, the insurance company or whatever, he was there with his boss and he's like, no, it's absolutely Shakespeare. I have it written on my wall. And he's arguing. And the boss looks at the client and says, no, it's in the Bible. And then he's like, Larry, you're wrong. It's not Shakespeare. It's in the Bible. And after they left, Larry is mad. He's like to the boss, why would you let him be right when you know it's right here? It's Shakespeare. And his whole point was like, because if we win the argument, we lose the client. You know, we win the battle, but we lose the war. Like, why would you want to be right about something so freaking stupid as who wrote it? Was it in the Bible or Shakespeare? And my mentor used to say, you can be right or you can be rich, but you're never going to be both. So I learned really quick, I don't need to be right. I would much rather be rich, give money to charities. Suicide Awareness Day is coming up in September, and I'm working with someone that I think could be an amazing virtual event. What is your passion, you guys? Like, what is it that you want to fulfill? And what is the emotion that's missing right now that if you had it, it would all be okay? So this king rebuilding this city puts this boulder right in the middle of Main Street. And he puts a little note on it that nobody knows about. And let me tell you what happened, right? The gossips of the town said, I'm sharing this shit on Facebook. This is bullshit. Why would they put a boulder right in the middle of Main Street? That mayor needs fired. We need a new mayor. He's a piece of crap. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody does their job. I'm sharing it, right? And then the liars, you know, they said the boulders in the middle of Main Street, that mean kid that needs to be put in jail did it. He vandalizes everything. They never catch him. He's a piece of crap. So is his mom and all of his ancestors. Like, why do they even let this kid do crap like that on Main Street? And then the attorney came along and the attorney was mad. And, you know, he had to be right. And the attorney said, I'm suing them. I'm filing a lawsuit. Because this boulder's in the middle of the street, we couldn't get through. We couldn't make any money. It cost the whole community time, energy, effort. Nobody does anything about it. It's on my property line. I'm suing them, right? And there was one more. There was the lobbyist. They decided they were all going to make signs so they could feel, you know, like they were part of the movement, that these boulders should never be able to be in the middle of Main Street again. So there was like the gossip, the liar, the lobbyist, the attorney. There was a whole bunch of people. Then along comes the single mom. And she's like, I got to get to the farmer's market. Because if I don't get to the farmer's market and sell everything that I made all week, my little handmade soaps, everything from my garden, all the stuff I crocheted, like if I don't get to the farmer's market, my kids aren't getting book bags this week. Like school is starting. This is a big deal. Like I've got to get to the farmer's market. So the single mom, mind you, it's a woman. She takes something to get some leverage and she's trying so hard. She puts her cart away with all of her stuff, leaves it in the middle of the road. She's pushing. She's trying to get other people to push. She's trying to solve the problem. She doesn't talk crap on the Democratic and the Republican Party. She doesn't talk crap on the mayor. She doesn't have to share it on Facebook. She don't have time to share it on Facebook because she's a mover and a shaker. And she gets along with everybody because they're about to come to the farmer's market and buy her stuff so she can feed her kids and build an empire. And as she's trying to get it moved, she gets a stick. She starts recruiting people. She's got another log. She's got leverage and she gets the boulder to move. And the single mom solves the problem. She's not part of the problem. She solves the problem. She doesn't blame anybody. She takes action on it, just trying to be the light to lead other people. And you know what? Under the boulder is a little note. And it says, to the person who found a way to move this obstacle. Obstacle is opportunity. Obstacles are opportunities. When you're growing, when you're learning, when you're reading, when you're praying, when you're forgiving, when you're loving, when you're all of these things, like we should be trying to do every single day, that single mom gets a letter from the king that says, it's you that I need to run the kingdom. It's you that I need because you see an obstacle as an opportunity. And you guys, these opportunities are all around you. You're too busy looking at the obstacle. You're too busy being part of the problem instead of part of the solution. And what Byron Katie said to me in that series that I took many, many years ago, in the midst of grieving, in the midst of losing half my income, in the midst of watching leaders that I thought were my friends steal half of my organization, say bad things about the owners of my company, tearing it down instead of building it up. They were mockers, they were stealers, they were liars, they were gossips, they were trying to create the lawsuit, whatever all they were trying to do. Dave and I were just trying to stay focused on our dreams and our goals, trying to be authentic, trying to make the best decisions. We didn't always make the best decisions. Sometimes we got sucked into the gossip. Sometimes we got sucked into the liars and the cheaters and the egomaniacs that wanted us to come with them because they needed to feel significant. They needed to be right. They needed to win. You guys, I could write a book. I've made all the mistakes. Not anymore. Not anymore. I'm not a slow learner. Right now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm reading, I'm growing, I'm praying. Yes, I cry. Yes, I have fears. Yes, I hurt. Yes, I get my feelings hurt. Yes, I know they're wrong and I'm right, right? I know that. I just don't have to be right all the time because it's easier to just allow them to be how they are. Practice the art of allowing. Be like, I don't know why she is that way. Dude, she's crazy. And keep on moving. Be like, I don't know why he is that way. He's abusive. It might be true. You don't know what goes on in his mind. Maybe there's a chemical imbalance. It doesn't mean I have to be right. It doesn't mean I have to hate and be full of venom and settle the score. Why would you do that to people I love? Why would you do that to my business? Why would you do that to my reputation or my grandkids or whatever? You guys, I've had a lot of people do me wrong. Guess what? It doesn't mean that two wrongs make a right. The last thing I'm going to do is stoop to that level. And here's the other thing I know. Who's in office in my community doesn't matter. There will always be 50% of the people that love them and 50% of the people that hate them. I cannot blame the government. I cannot blame the judge. I cannot blame the mayor or the city manager. Guess what? I'm not a tree. See, I can just move. And so can you. You don't have to stay in the circle of venom. You can do and be and have anything you dream of. But the number one thing you should do, just read this book. I don't care what company you're in. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to recruit you to my way of thinking. I'm winning. I'm winning so big I can't even believe it. But this is the secret. How to win friends and influence people. Yesterday, Dave and I just walked into an opportunity that we were like, how did that even just happen? And I'll tell you guys how. Like, we literally, like, you almost feel bad. It's such a good opportunity. And you almost feel guilty because you're going to win so big, but you're helping someone. Like, you're helping someone. So, of course, God's going to give you back what you're giving. Be a giver, not a taker. Some of you say, I can't give because I don't have any to give. Oh, you do. You're just hanging on to all of it in scarcity mentality. Last thing I'm going to share with you, my aha moment from yesterday. Here it is. What needs to happen or appear in your life right now to make you feel the way you want to feel? This was in our coaching group. It was so good. We were diving into this for like an hour. What needs to happen or appear in your life right now to make you feel the way you want to feel? It made me name the emotion that I was feeling and to realize what is the actual emotion you're trying to feel. Is it all going to be okay down the road when this happens? Would it all be okay if the stuff in the past never really happened? Because guess what? We can't change the past and we can't fix the future. We got to be right here in the now. And we got to feel good now, no matter what's going on in our life. Because the way we feel right now is what co-creates what's going to happen today and tomorrow. There's been days where I was like, we need to make $18,000 like today. Because I could blame and shame and guilt and trip and everything about everything of why I was in that position I was in. But at the end of the day, can't change the past, can't predict the future. I needed to manifest something big to happen. And you guys, when I focus on the feeling as if it's already happened, look in the mirror. This is another thing we did this week. 10 times straight. I am worthy of everything I desire. Go look in your mirror, say this 10 times. I am worthy of everything I desire. Say it again. I am worthy of everything I desire. I am worthy of everything I desire. I am worthy of everything I desire. You do this 10 times. Dave was like, that's hard to do, Barb. When you're looking in the mirror and you're saying it, do you know why it's hard to do? Because you know the real you. You know your past. You know your faults, you know your regrets, you know everything that you've ever done, all your failures, but deep down, God's not keeping score. He's not keeping score. He's trying to figure out how you could get enough faith to trust him, to take the leap, to take the action, to look in the mirror, to know that he loves you. The sinners, the thieves, the haters, the mockers, the liars, the addicts, he doesn't care. Do you know, it's hard for me to believe this, but in the Bible, every sin is equal. So while you're hating on the guy that murdered someone or abused a dog or a child or whatever, you being a hater, you talking bad about them, you hurting other people, it's a pretty level playing field. Like, in order for you to get the goods, in order for you to get your dreams, your goals, everything that's right over here, everything that you're worthy of having, there is that person over there that you hate, that you judge, that you mock, that you hold a grudge against. There's that person. That person's over here. We'll put that as the black jar, right? And then there's him in between you and that. So imagine this. There's you. Your dreams and goals are right on the other side of this. And the only thing between you and them is your creator. Like, you've got to forgive. In order for you to get to him, it's the other way around. I just completely screwed that up. There's Jesus, and the person between you and him is the person that you need to forgive. There's that thing that you did. You need to forgive yourself. There's that horrible thing in the closet that you can't get rid of. Just get it out and know it's a clean slate. You can have and be and do anything you want, but you have to be okay. And you have to know that you're worthy. And you have to dream again. You literally have to dream so big and then look in the mirror and say, I am worthy of everything I desire right now. I feel good now. I have everything I need and I'm capable. I'm fully capable. How it's going to happen is not my business. God's going to line it all up to the point it's amazing. It's like the plot twist in the movie where you're like, there's no way. Any of you guys see the movie Con Air? I haven't seen a lot of movies, but my favorite part is the end of that movie when he comes walking up with that teddy bear. And I am just like, I cannot even believe this just happened. You guys, the plot twist, the reason why the things happen in your life, even the mean people that you're so hung up about, they happen to move you. Like, he puts them there. If he allowed it to happen, it's part of your destiny. Nothing can keep you from your destiny except for you, because you won't take action, because you want to play the blame game, because you want to play the guilt game, because you want to stay stuck, or you want to even the score. And I'm telling you, those words, write them to anyone that has ever hurt you. I thank you. I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry. And then you can say whatever you want. See ya. Watch my smoke. Like, whatever you need to say, right? But you've got to let them go. You've got to let them go. Because if not, It's like all the baggage that you keep carrying around. And if you guys saw the baggage that I carry around for real, I still have my Hawaii suitcase. I've not had time to unpack any of it. And Dave, yesterday we showed our house to some people. The realtor was coming and Dave's like, your suitcase is a disgrace. It's horrible. Like, it's almost as bad as your car. And I'm like, I know. It takes a lot to carry all that around, right? But I haven't had time to unpack it because I'm doing so much. And at the same time, it doesn't really matter. It's the way I'm wired. I have to have all of my stuff, right? And it doesn't have to be all clean like yours and all organized and all minimalistic. Like, that's not me. You go be you. I'm going to go be me. But here's the thing. You can't have to be right, because you can either be right or you can be rich, but you're never going to be both. And the second thing is, you don't have to get even, because God has already won the battle. And the more you hold that grudge and resentment and you can't get along with people, the more you hold yourself back. All the blessings are trying to flow to you, and you're literally like a volley. You're like, don't bring me the blessings. I'm over here being mad. Nope. Oh, I'm going to really hit that one. Don't bring me anything. I want to be over here and be right. Like, here I am. Humble me. Show me. I'll eat the humble pie. I'll choke on the very last drop. I'm not that good without him. But here's what I do know. I'm worthy of everything I desire. And good things are happening for me right now. I will manifest every single thing. I am manifesting all good, all love, all forgiveness, all blessings, all the right customers, all the right clients, all the right opportunities, amazing real estate opportunities. I love what I do. I'm happy. It feels so good to pull into my driveway and say this with me. Do it. I'm worthy of everything I desire. And it feels so good to pull in. Where do you live? What do you drive? How do you dress? Where do you work? Who's at your house? Like, you can do what you want, when you want, wherever you want, and have plenty of money to pay for that and never worry again once you realize the secret. And you guys, God holds the keys to all of your dreams. He knows right where they are, and he'll take you right to them in style. Make him your CEO. Partner up. Quit trying to do everything on your own. Quit trying to be the God. Like, how about you get off the throne? Quit trying to control everything. Surrender it and be like, here you go, God. You fix it. And the minute you get out of the way, it's amazing. The burdens that will fall off your shoulders, the energy that you'll have, the sleep that you'll experience, the friendships that you'll have. Oh my gosh, your marriage will be all spicy again. Your checkbook will be just having transactions. Like, it's so much easier, you guys, but people are so slow to learn. To know and not to do is not to know. So Jeremiah 29:11, my favorite verse. For I know the plans I have for you, not to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you hope and future. If that's the case, why are you trying to hold on to the old plans? Why are you trying to get even with the people he removed from your life? Why are you trying to keep what was never yours in the first place? Because all the money, even your kids, they were never yours anyway. He just loaned them to you. So quit trying to control, quit trying to even the score, quit trying to tell everybody how badly you were done and treated. Just practice the art of allowing. Let them all be how they are, and you go be great, because you were destined for greatness. And God created you not to pay child support, alimony, back taxes, struggle with disease, and suffer. He created you to be great. Go and do with what he gave you, the time, the talent, the treasures. You guys, we are machines. Like, as humans, he allows us to go through what we're going through, and then he blesses us so we will share the testimony with others and continue to build the kingdom. So let's ask a question. In your life, in your community, in your business, in your family, are you building it up or are you tearing it down? Because I'm telling you right now, we're building an empire over here. And I would love for you to catch the bug. I would love for you to feel that, like we do in our coaching group, and for you to just break out of the shackles and be like, here I am, like, hey, Kool-Aid, those of you that are my age, just busting through the wall. And it's just such a great feeling, you guys, to break free. But do you know what holds us back? Usually our past, things that have happened to us, and people. And the future creates anxiety. The past gives us all of our regret and depression. And most people never live in the now. So live in the now, practice the art of allowing, let everyone around you be exactly how they are, and you go get in alignment to be the best you. And if you need help doing that, reach out to me. I can send you the resources, the books, the coaching group. We are killing it together as a team, and we're giving God all the glory for everything. Because I'll tell you guys one thing, without him, I would be nothing. And I've been humbled enough. If you don't humble yourself, God will do it for you. I'm not a slow learner. I absolutely know that every single thing I have, everything I am blessed with is because of him. And I will never stop telling that story. So I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. It is beautiful here. For me, it's beautiful. Cloudy, rainy, a little bit overcast. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but I hope you have a beautiful day. Do me a favor, please. Do me a favor and share this broadcast. Put the tagline, whatever you want. What's your one takeaway you got out of this today? Because I do this for free every Saturday morning. And the only way that I can make an impact is people sharing, people tagging their friends, people sending it in Messenger, people hit share, then copy link, and then put it in all your groups. Like, if we don't share the good news and empower other people, then we're really not bringing value. And what I've learned is when you give it away free and you bring value, then you will get exactly the value you bring. So I'm bringing it every single Saturday. I hope you're sharing it. I hope you're loving it. I work so hard on myself to be able to do this for an hour every Saturday morning. And I want to inspire you. Ultimately, my intention is to have a positive impact on every single person that listened to this broadcast, that they will feel better at the end of the hour of No Guts, No Story than they felt when they first tuned in. And if I accomplish that, thank you for being a supporter and tuning in. And I hope that you'll share this broadcast with someone you love. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next Saturday right here live, No Guts, No Story.